Soccer 605, we're visiting with Duane Kavanaugh, head coach for the Groton Tigers. You guys just came into town, played Sioux Falls Christian, and are going home with a 1-0 victory.
Yeah, it's always good to get a win, and Christian played really well. I know they've had a kind of a rough season, but they really have kind of stepped up, and looks like I've been watching scores. They've been really coming along well this year, so it was a little better, a little more competition I was thinking we'd have. So I was really impressed with our girls stepping up to it. So.
And they did a nice job. And Sioux Falls Christian has been developing. You can see through the season that they've got a very young team as well as you guys do.
Yeah, both teams got a lot of young players, so it's kind of nice to watch each team kind of grow. Our girls, we've got a lot of 7th and 8th graders. Our 8th graders have a lot of experience. Some play clubs, so that's made a big difference. They could kind of step into some of those holes and just take it on right away. So.
Yeah, and playing year-round does make a difference for the players, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, you can see their touches, from the beginning of the season are just that much, cleaner and sharper, and it takes some of the other girls a little while to kind of remember what a soccer ball looks like. So.
Well, and we've been talking with some of the other communities, and some of their players have never played soccer before and are playing high school soccer. So it's obviously an advantage to be playing year-round. Your girls also were doing a nice job, I thought, dealing with the turf.
Yeah, we play turf about twice a year. We come to Sioux Falls Christian, and then if we play in Aberdeen, and so it's a totally different game. It's a lot faster. Kind of learning how to catch the ball a little quicker. So it did make it a little more difficult. But I thought they adjusted the second half really well, particularly with the wind shift. So that made it a little better for us, I think. So.
Yeah, I did. You could really see that they were starting to understand what they needed to do with the ball. A little shorter passes and maybe not quite so much speed. I did ask one of your players, Savannah, and kind of threw her a tough curveball question about the difference as a player between being a sanctioned program this year and non-sanctioned in the past. She answered it very nicely, but I'd like to hear from you as a coach what your perspective is on that.
Well, it's a big transition. There's been a lot of work to get us to this point. A lot of people in the state have worked hard. For us, it's probably the biggest transition is just having a lot more school support now. Whether it be some financial, although we had to do a lot of fundraising just to keep the program running. But I think just that support of the school, the community being a little more understanding of what soccer means now in the school. I think there was always some confusion there. And then on the competition end, of course, it's made it a much more difficult season for us. We had to play. We always play St. Thomas More and played them right off the bat, and then our third game of the year was Aberdeen Central. The defending AA state champs, and it was a tough game. We really couldn't muster much of an offense, but we kept them on the goal. It took them 25 minutes to score, and they generally like to score in the first 2 minutes. So we, as coaches, we were pretty happy with our girls' effort on that. So, but I think it's a bit of a transition, and in talking with other coaches and people around the state, it sounds like a lot of other teams might make that transition. So hopefully we can get that done.
And would you recommend they make that transition?
Oh yeah, of course. Along with being the coach for Groton, I'm also the chair for the high school soccer committee. So of course we want to put ourselves out of business. That's our job. So, and that's what we're hoping to do this year. So
that would be nice. And I know in talking with some other coaches that they're really seeing some advantages to having the sport sanctioned and the school support. So, well, who do you have next, Coach?
Well, as my daughter said, we play Aberdeen and Groton in about a week and a half. We had about 10 days off to get well. We've got a lot of girls got banged up, and so that's going to be helpful. But we play Aberdeen at home during our homecoming week, so that'll be fun. It'll be a tough game. Aberdeen's going to come, and and they got beat last night, so I'm sure they're going to come loaded for bear. And then after that, we play St. Thomas More, and it would be nice to have a rematch. It was our first game. They'd had a game. We made a few mistakes and gave them some shots that we probably don't want to give them, and hopefully by this time we'll make it a little closer game, so maybe come out with a win, and then we end the season with Mitchell. So, and then hopefully the state tournament. So,
well, and speaking of the state tournament, as the chair of the high school committee and as a sanctioned coach in the soccer program, you're probably uniquely qualified to explain how the tournament's going to work for the sanctioned schools. Could you do that for us?
Sure. It's based on points, the power points. So the top 4 teams will go to the state tournament in Aberdeen that first weekend in October, and it'll be just those 4 teams this year. Hopefully next year we'll have more teams coming out, and then we may have a bigger tournament. And then South Dakota Soccer, the committee I'm on, then we'll have our state tournament like we've always had, and then hopefully, like I said, most teams will make that transition next year, and we can be out of the soccer business for high school at least, and kind of focus on some other things.
Sure. And as I was looking this morning at the South Dakota High School Activities Association rules on the tournament, it appears that the top 2 teams, top 2 seeded teams, are automatic berths, and then 3rd through 6th place teams will have playoffs. Is that right? That's
the understanding. Yeah, there'll be playoff games for those last slots. So it's going to make it a fun season. And hopefully we can maybe slip into that second slot, or stay out of that playoff system. But if so, we'll go play the game. So hopefully we'll be high enough we'll get the home game. So
well, and playoffs are nothing new in high school activities.
No, and I know a couple of years ago we put that playoff system in the South Dakota soccer end, and one of the first games, top top team got knocked out, so that's why you have playoffs. So,
yeah, been there, done that with our son's team. So how is the state soccer association tournament going to work? Is it going to be similar to what you're doing in Aberdeen, or how many teams are automatically going? Or is it? Can you explain that too?
It's going to be like other years, that you have to play your way in. I think there is a playoff weekend in there, so teams can make their way into the tournament. It's about like last year. Probably the only division that's kind of having some different difficulties. There's the A girls because a lot of the teams are now in the sanctioned end, so there's only 6 or 7 teams or 5 or 6 teams left over there. So there's some question. I think then the top 4 teams are probably going to go to state. I don't know if there's going to be a playoff tournament game. I can't remember right off here. So, but the tournament will be like it always has been. It's always a great effort, and Rapid City is sponsoring this year, and Greg out there will do a great job putting everything together, and we'll have a great time. So.
So you mean Greg Stone, Mr. Soccer?
Mr. Soccer, yeah. So he'll be out there, and I know Greg will do a great job, and we'll have some fun, and we'll have our meetings and just really enjoy the. I think maybe we'll have one more year, but if this was the last year, I'm sure Greg will make it a great one. So.
Well, Soccer 605 is looking forward to both tournaments, and we appreciate you taking some time to visit with us, Coach Kavanaugh. Look forward to seeing you on the fields again.
Thanks for everything you guys do, Carol. You guys have a good day.